Thank you very much, Sally. It is 8:04, and we're 50 degrees outside the Stones and Bones studios. Tina LaValle, hope you had a fantastic weekend. In studio, boy, you had a fantastic week last week. Chris Shavastar from Meals on Wheels. Tell us about the celebration. It was a day of celebration.
We even called it a day of gratitude.
I love it.
Because we just could not do what we do every single day of the week without the incredible volunteers in this community. So what we did was we surprised about 450 of the volunteers who've delivered in the last couple months with a yard sign and a little gift bag.
Oh, that's terrific. All 400 plus?
Right under 450. It was amazing. And, the crazy thing is we even have more volunteers, but even more amazing, we need more.
Well, let me ask you first. If you were surprising the volunteers with that many bags, how did you do it all by your little lonesome there? Or did you get volunteers to help the volunteers?
Well, we got volunteers who deliver for us for special occasions.
Okay.
Like when we do poinsettias at Christmas or food boxes, things like that. It wasn't the people that deliver on a regular basis, a daily basis.
So it was a surprise.
It was a surprise to our regular volunteers.
That is awesome. We're going to play a little bit of jam. When we come back, a lot of people may still not be familiar with Meals on Wheels and what you do and just the great way that you are reaching out and helping our community. So imagine good things in life, just like John Lennon said, and then we'll be right back. Stick around. We're talking about my creek. All right, that was AC/DC Rock or Bus, the Manic Morning Show on a Monday morning. Can you see me smiling under my mask? Because the creek makes me happy.
Water makes everyone happy,
It does.
I think.
It does, absolutely. So does a little bit of sunshine and warmer temperatures, and we're going to see a high today of 75. That voice that you hear is Chris Shavastar from Meals on Wheels. How long have you been with Meals on Wheels?
A little over 9 years. It has been the fastest 9 years of my life because I love it every day.
And you have seen the need grow. But before we get to that, just give us a background. Some listeners, they may have heard of Meals on Wheels, but they're really not sure exactly what you all do for the community.
Well, Meals on Wheels delivers a hot, freshly made meal to people that are homebound 5 days a week. We do it all without state or federal funding, which means we can serve people of all ages and all incomes. Right now, the youngest person we're serving is 26, and the oldest is 102.
What are the qualifications for those people who are in need of that meal?
Basically, they have to live in our service area,
Okay.
Which is Lynchburg and out into the counties. We go as far as Rustburg. We expanded into Rustburg. But basically, it's Forest, but not Bedford, Madison Heights, but not Amherst, that sort of thing, in the greater Lynchburg area. You need to be homebound because of an illness or disability. Perhaps you had knee surgery or hip surgery and you just need it for a few weeks. We can help you. We have people that we've served for 20 plus years. There was a woman in her 40s who started developing seizures, and she still is not safe standing in front of a stove. And so we just continue to help her out as long as she has the need.
Now, the need, like I said, has grown. You were telling me off mic that last January, what was your number? Last
January of 2019, we were at 312 people.
And what is it today?
We are just shy of 500. That is a 60% increase.
So has your volunteerism increased along with that?
We have a number of new volunteers. At the start of the COVID pandemic, about half our volunteers had to step back because of their own health and safety issues, and totally fine. And an incredible number of people stepped up. But as we've been growing, we need to start even more routes.
Yeah.
And so I could start 3 more tomorrow if I can recruit more volunteers.
You cooking for over 500 people, that's a lot of cooking that you're doing, right?
Well, luckily we work with 2 incredible kitchens.
Okay.
Canteen Services on Oddfellows Road and Virginia Baptist Hospital prepare all our meals.
So when you're asking for volunteers, you are not asking for people to cook. You just need people to deliver the meals.
That's right. They can pick up at one of our 4 pickup locations, Oddfellows Road, Schules Furniture Company, Virginia Baptist, and Rustburg Presbyterian Church.
And how does that work? Do we get a list of our regular customers, clients, or recipients?
When you arrive, you're given a delivery list with directions. You can also use your GPS, but the directions are there. It tells you who you're delivering to. You have a bag of cold things, a bag of hot things. It's very fine-tuned. It's an amazingly easy thing. We ask people to save 90 minutes, but a lot of times it can be done in less than an hour.
What is the time frame? About what time do they start, and about what time would their route end?
It depends on your pickup location. You can pick up as early as 10 or as late as 11:30, depending on which location.
Now, do you have volunteers that kind of want to be like the mailman route? I want the same clients each time.
Well, and that's the way it works.
Perfect.
So you can deliver the first, third, and fifth Tuesday, or the second and fourth Friday, or once a month, or once in a while, because we also need substitutes. Perhaps you can't take off, on your regular day, but you always have Friday off. You could sub when someone isn't able to take their route on a Friday, or if it varies. We have a lot of opportunities. We want to make this the best volunteer experience for whoever is going to come out and help.
I imagine there are some rapports built, some relationships that are long-lasting. You said you've had some folks that have been with you for at least a decade or more.
That's right. I mean, you really become attached to, I become very attached to the people that I'm serving, because, they're some of the most interesting, experienced people in town. I mean, they've had wonderful lives, and, they're so grateful for what you're doing with them, and it's just a gift you're giving them. You're also, in addition, giving them a connection to the community. You deliver food, you do a safety check, make sure they haven't fallen or there's a problem. But that conversation from 6 feet away is still a reason to get up in the morning. It's a reason to read the paper so you have something to talk about with your volunteers. It has such an incredible impact.
And I bet they are so excited when the time is coming. They're going to have their guests come in. Something happened yesterday they want to share with you. Isn't that wonderful?
It really is. And a lot of our people, they know exactly who's coming. And we used to have a few people that would call us in the morning and say, okay, who's going to be here today? Oh. And so that they could be prepared and make sure that they knew who to expect. And it really, the relationships that you can build are amazing.
Okay, so what does it take to be a volunteer?
You need to be 18 or older with a car, an hour to an hour and a half, midday, and the desire to make a difference.
That will work. That's all it really needs. To want to see someone's eyes sparkle, because I would say you want to see them smile, but we're wearing our masks, but you can tell when somebody's smiling.
Every time.
So if we have some listeners that just can't get away from work, they just can't find the time to be a volunteer, there are other ways that our listeners can help out Meals on Wheels. Monetary donations. Do you take donations of other things?
We do accept donations of pet food, because we have an Animals program,
That's
especially
wonderful.
Now when so many people are, so isolated and so alone. If they have a companion pet, we want to make sure that they're fed so they're not sharing their meal. There's a number of drop-off locations at vet clinics around town or our office. Monetary helps. We also have something we call a la carte volunteer opportunities, kind of one-off. So this month we're going to be delivering blizzard boxes, which are shelf-stable meals in case it's a really snowy, icy day and we can't deliver. It's not safe for our volunteers. Our recipients will have food in their cupboard that they can go to.
Oh, wow.
So, sometimes there's opportunities like that. We'll deliver poinsettias at Christmas. We have delivered some boxes of food from the food bank. And so if you just go to our website, mealslynchburg.org, all that information is there. You can apply to volunteer on a regular route, as a la carte volunteer, and find out more.
And they get a meal 5 days or 7 days a week, every day?
We're doing a hot lunch 5 days a week. Some of our recipients are also receiving a cold supper that we'll deliver along with the meal. We have an Insure program, the Animals program. There really are a lot of opportunities to get involved.
And what about like holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, and things like that?
In general, we deliver on most holidays. For example, Thanksgiving's coming up. We'll deliver 2 meals on Thanksgiving morning. We want to make sure everyone has a hot meal for Thanksgiving. But in order to give the kitchen staff some time off, we're going to deliver a cold meal for the next day.
That is wonderful, wonderful. Again, what is the website?
mealslynchburg.org.
All these signs in the little goodie bags that delivered last week to your volunteers, how did you manage to pay for those? I'm sure you have some sponsors you'd like to thank.
There's some incredible people in this community. I first of all want to thank Ford Mays Wealth Management and Select Bank, who paid for all of those signs and masks. It was absolutely incredible. They appreciate what the volunteers in this community do, and that is why we were able to deliver.
That is wonderful. So I ask listeners, if you go by a residential home and you see the sign out in the yard, toot and yell, "Yay, you're awesome, you rock," yeah.
Or if it's a neighbor, go stop by and ask them to tell you about their experience.
Absolutely. And I can tell you firsthand, a couple of years ago, I ran into Ronnie getting our oil changed, and we started to converse, and he was so passionate about what he did. Now, I was familiar with Meals on Wheels, but he got me so inspired to want to share it with listeners, and the rest, I guess they say, is history.
I love it.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. You see what we do, you try it a time or two, I think you'll fall in love.
I know you will. And in this year, 2020, we want to push the idea of just be kind to each other, do something nice for others, and this is a perfect way to do it. So if you've been thinking about wanting to donate a little bit of your time to help out the community, this is such a fantastic way to do it. Yeah, I highly suggest it. I wish I had an opportunity and the time to do it, but hopefully our listeners will. Chris, thank you so much for coming on the show. Anything that we forget that you'd like to share?
Just thank you so much. It's this community that's come together this crazy year to make a difference, and we need to keep on doing it. Keep that caring going.
Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
All right, folks, stick around. A whole lot more Metal Monday on the way.